What's going on? Brian here, Triathlon.com, and we are bringing you a live video, if you're watching this live, for IRONMAN 70.3 Memphis, what you should be doing in your training leading up to the race week specific. Everybody always asks, when should I start taper? What should I do in my taper leading up to the race? What should my volume look like? What should my workouts look like? So if you've got that question in your mind, I'm here to rub the crusties out of my eyes and then follow up with what you should be doing the week leading up to a race. So to do that, we're going to jump into Training Peaks. We're going to look at some plans that I have pre-made for 70.3 Memphis specifically. It's based on the course, based on the terrain, based on the climate, based on the left we got an advanced plan, on the right we've got a beginner type plan. So you'll start off by looking at these, and they're pretty similar, pretty close. They're only 20 minutes off in total volume. The distance, 1,000 yards difference in distance for swimming. Biking's pretty spot on, running's pretty spot on. So as you can see, from beginner to advanced, I don't like to load up athletes too much the week before a race. Now we'll back up and we'll look at the week before that as well. I call that kind of more the race prep. The week of is more of the taper, where you get in, you're really not doing that much high intensity, you're really not doing much volume. You want your body to absorb as much rest as possible in recovery. Get ready for race day and get out there and do your best on that race day. So you see, it's a little bit different in how I shuffle the workouts. Advanced athletes, we got the swims kind of changed up, and that's not to say that you couldn't, if you use one of my plans, you couldn't shuffle a little bit more how it works. I know in the past they've had a swim option. They can go swim in the lake the day before the race for 70.3 Memphis. So if you got there Thursday, get there Thursday, and that's a little bit off. The race is actually on. Interesting. The race is on Saturday, so if you get there Thursday, you get there early Friday, you could do a practice swim and get out there and get the feel for the water. So if you can't get a practice swim in, but you get a swim before you leave town, that's when you do it. If you get there, you can only do a ride, or if you get there Wednesday, and I have this bike, just an easy tempo ride for 30 minutes. If you get there Thursday and then you get all your stuff unpacked, your bike out, and Fridays when you do your test ride for 30 minutes, hey, that's whatever works best for you. This Memphis out in Shelby Farms is kind of convenient. Around the park area is some roads. Now there is a decent amount of traffic when I drove around out there when I did the race in 21. So you got to be a little bit careful out there, but there's plenty of people out riding around, getting ready for it. So the traffic should know you're out there. I just stay off the major kind of highway type thoroughfares, but there should be opportunities. You can go ride around the park and ride in the park in some spots. So just be mindful. Ironman's kind of taking over the park and race and everything. So just don't ride through some areas you're not supposed to ride through. So I digress. We'll get back to what you should actually be doing. Notice that Monday is kind of the biggest swim of the week. More of a tempo level effort. Really, at this point in time, 2 to 3 to 4 weeks out, you're really not looking to build in fitness. You've built your fitness, and then you're looking to keep that fitness as best as possible while maximizing recovery. So you'll be recovered, but during that time, your fitness is going to kind of go down a little bit because we're not really challenging the aerobic system, the anaerobic system, because you don't want to, because then it requires more recovery. So you do not want recovery, but you want to keep as fit as possible. So there's going to be a lot of tempo work, a lot of repeats. Really no thresholds, or really anything that should go out there and really kill you. Notice I've got a nice tempo ride for about an hour the Tuesday before, and that's probably going to be the last workout that's around an hour. After that, everything's going to be 45 minutes to 30 minutes or something like that. So really winding it down. Resist the temptation. If you're like, oh, I feel good, I should do more. You want to keep that energy and that motivation up until race day. So definitely be cognizant. Don't think, well, I've been doing 2 to 3 hours, 2-a-days and stuff like that for so long. I'm just used to it. I'm going to go ahead and do it. If you do, maybe you do your 30-minute ride and then later in the day do a 2 to 3 mile run. Keep it very slow, or not slow, but keep it very less intensive. So don't go out there and kill it. Don't go out there. Tempo's the highest level of effort you want to do out there. And definitely don't want to go over 45 to 30 minutes, especially once you're getting out 3 to 4 days from race day. So you want to keep those systems very much engaged, but you don't want to overwork or anything like that. So that's typically where we're at. And like the day before, maybe a practice swim and then like a 2 mile run. Just something to keep the body active. but you're not taking up a lot of the day doing the workout, because that day before you're dropping off your bike, getting the timing chip, and all that kind of fun stuff. So you already got some stuff going on, especially with Memphis and Shelby Farms Park. You've got a little bit of a hike to get your stuff in, hike out. So definitely you're going to get some walking around then too, and some activation. So you don't want to wear yourself out. You want to give yourself plenty of time, get a workout, get a little something done, then get your stuff dropped off, get all the logistics taken care of, then keep your feet up and relax for a little bit. So definitely not a killer week the week before. And I'll kind of back up a little bit, and I'll go into depth a little bit more what you should be doing like 2 to 3 weeks out from race day. But I call this kind of the race prep phase. So the week before, you're kind of going through, and it's the same mindset. You're not doing super intense stuff, but the volume's a little bit more. So we're looking at about 10 hours for advanced athlete, 9 hours for the beginner type athlete, maybe 35-mile ride the week before. Because advanced athletes, you should be able to handle a little bit more volume, a little bit more intensity for that race period, and then be able to be adapted enough to get that recovery done. For the beginner level, maybe 25-mile bike ride, something like that, an hour run, hour and 5 minutes, throwing some fartlek intervals in there. Same with the advanced athletes. I got some aerobic bursts built in there, a little bit, an hour and 15-minute run. Shouldn't be too dramatic. You need a huge amount of recovery after that. Pardon my phone interruption. Didn't turn my ringer off. I should pay the price for that. So keep that in mind. So the 2 weeks before, you're kind of doing this race prep, and then the race week, you're really going in and you're really dialing down the intensity. You're dialing down the volume. You're really not doing that much, because you should be doing the work up to this point. Now, if you've missed a lot of time or something like that, it might look a little bit different, but really that week before, there's nothing really you could do as far as gaining fitness up until race day. If you try to do anything in that week, you're probably going to be more detrimental to the experience and to your race performance, because you'll just be tired. You won't be fully recovered. You go out there with tired legs, and you just won't have the energy and the speed that you're looking for on race day, and the power and all that kind of fun stuff. So this is just a quick little dive into what your race week should look like. I didn't see any questions or anything like that. We're doing this live. You're seeing it later on replay on Facebook and YouTube. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. If this helped you out, give it a like on Facebook. Give it a like, subscribe on YouTube, all that kind of good stuff. Hit the subscribe button, get future notifications of other videos I do for either Memphis, other races, other triathlon tips in general. So with that, I want to close up this video. Hopefully it helped you out. See you out there at the start line, and good luck on race day.